Dana Gardner, Marketing Manager at Novatec. Before any of our dryers leave our facility, they go through a full inspection to make sure they perform exactly the way a processor expects. We're checking airflow, temperature control, dew point performance, and every single function that contributes to reliable, consistent drying on the production floor. Today, we're going to be demonstrating our Novatec desiccant wheel dryer. You'll see the exact process our team uses every single day. They're meticulous, almost obsessive about every single detail, because that's what ensures our dryers meet Novatec's quality standards.
I'm Jim Brown, Novatec's Quality Manager. I also inspect and test each dryer that comes through. So the first thing we do is inspect the control cabinet. So first we make sure all the components are installed properly. We check to make sure all the wires are tight through the high voltage and the low voltage. So after we've checked the control panel, we check the filter compartments to make sure the filters are installed and secure. This is your process filter, and this one is your regen filter. So then we check the internal part of the dryer, make sure all the components are installed. The cassette, the motors are secure. The hoses are routed correctly and tight. The dew point sensor housing is here. That's installed properly. Copper tubing is tight. I check the heaters, make sure that they're properly insulated and that they're all secure. We apply power to the unit. We check the secondary, check the voltage and the secondary of the transformer to make sure that it's wired properly. Once we're powered up, we program the PLC with a USB card, and then we program the HMI with a SD card. So then the control is set up for this type of unit. We enter the size and model, time and date, and country. So this is the installation checklist that the customer can go through when they first starting up. Check to make sure thermocouples installed in each hopper. The water lines are connected for the cooling coil. Material lines are tight, connected, and the filter is installed correctly. Then we go to the basic machine configuration. Again, we show the model size, the type of dew point sensor, number of hoppers that are connected. If we're using a process heater, if we have an option of overdrive protection, this is where all your options are selected. Water saver valves, material conveying, if it's a dry convey unit, and then the setup of the PLC, how many modules are installed, and then we would restart the PLC. So once the configuration is set up in the HMI, we bump the motors by pressing the start button to stop. Check the rotation of the process and the regen motor. Once that's set, we go over to the cassette and make sure that it's turning properly, the chain's adjusted. So after we check the rotation of the blowers and the chain drive on the cassette, we start the dryer without the heaters being turned on yet. We make sure that the cassette is moving freely. Once we have the dryer running and the cassette's turning smoothly, we turn the heaters on, first the regen heater, and we check the amperage to make sure it's in specification, and then the process heater. We turn the process heater up to several different set points to make sure it controls at those set points up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. As it's running, the regen is heating up. We're making sure that it's rising in temperature, reaches our set point starting at 380 degrees. As it's running, we're watching the outlet temperature of the regeneration for the cassette to make sure that the cassette is drying out, and monitoring the dew point to make sure we achieve our minus 40 degree dew point. So once we start the desiccant wheel, we check the chain to make sure it's aligned. There's adjustments on the pulley and the idler arm, and that can be adjusted up and down to make sure we have a smooth transition, make sure it's parallel. We adjust the index switch to make sure it's making contact with the striker. We adjust the wheel speed of the cassette. Most of the dryers are 10 revolutions per hour. And that's done by this potentiometer here. And then we lock it into place with some silicone so it's not accidentally moved and changed during shipment. If it's a self-contained convey unit, we check the rotation of the blower, convey blower at the bottom. We plug our simulated level switch into the cords at the top to activate the convey blower. There's two loaders, one to load the drying hopper and one load the machine hopper. There's a selection valve to switch between the drying hopper and the machine loader. We adjust the speed of the solenoid to actuate the cylinder smoothly and make sure it's actuating properly. There's also a purge valve underneath the hopper that opens up when we're conveying to the machine mount loader.
Jim, thank you so much for that demonstration, and thank you for joining us. In our next video, we're going to be demonstrating how we inspect our NovaDryer dual flow compressed air resin dryers. Thanks very much.